November 19th, Pluto will officially leave Capricorn and not return to it for another 248 years. Pluto enters Aquarius on November 19th, where it will remain until March 8th of 2043. Pluto is the great transformer. This planet rules evolution, death, and rebirth. It causes things to evolve, mutate, and change. Pluto rules those in-depth transformation processes we go through individually and collectively. Pluto's been at the last degree of Capricorn, a fated degree, a degree that's about major turning points, the end of an old order and the movement into a new one. A lot of what hasn't been dealt with or addressed, a lot of the residual energy from the previous cycle will come up and be emphasized at the last degree. In the United States, during this recent election, Pluto was sitting at this last degree, interestingly enough. Now, November 19th, it shifts into Aquarius, so there's going to be some accelerated developments pertaining to this new era that we're entering. But let's talk for a second about Pluto and Capricorn, since it's really, we're in the swan song of Pluto and Capricorn, and there's a major culmination regarding these old energies at this time. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008, right around the time when the United States went through a major financial crisis in 2008. Remember, Capricorn's an earth sign. It rules the material and physical world. Capricorn deals with these larger institutions, structures that are in charge and hold power. It rules government, it rules corporations, it rules organizations, it rules business and financial institutions. All the structures and established systems in society, socially, economically, politically, are ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn also rules hierarchy, patriarchy, patriarchal systems, control, power, authority. Capricorn's about these externalized forms of power. It rules political leadership. It rules social privilege. With Pluto being in Capricorn, we are confronting the shadow side of this specific sign. What is the shadow side of Capricorn? Oppressive control, rigidity, this major focus on trying to maintain the status quo through these established colonial structures. In Capricorn, we find the archetype of the ruler, the businessman, the enforcer of the laws, the emperor, the gatekeepers of power. The emphasis in Capricorn is on the past. It's on tradition. It's on preserving power systems. It's also authoritarian. Pluto in Capricorn, though, wants to expose this shadow side. It wants to expose the foundation of things, the dishonesty, the lies, the abuses of power, the greed, the corruptions, especially the shadow within these long-standing structures and systems that have held power. And Pluto is always, especially when it's in Capricorn, promoting a major restructuring on various levels. And it's promoting the collapse of the old systems and structures so that we can build new systems. The old order must go, it must collapse so another can come in. And that other is Pluto in Aquarius. Even what's happening in the United States at this time, which we could see quite clearly is a culmination of this Capricorn archetype, it is single-handedly disassembling the system, the structures that have been in place for a long time. The Pluto and Aquarius element is next in that process. But I would say what's recently happened in the United States, it is a full embodiment of this Pluto in Capricorn energy. Now, again, individually, with Pluto and Capricorn, we're supposed to be really looking at what has held power, what has held authority over us and our lives. Personally, we're really confronting these themes. Collectively, it's really being dramatized on the world stage as well. This Pluto at the last degree of Capricorn is at its peak, its height right now. But Pluto's going into Aquarius on November 19th, and the winds of change are blowing in. Pluto in Aquarius historically has always been periods marked by upheaval, rebellions, and revolutionary movements and advancements that redefine societal ideals, power structures. We see radical change, fights for equality and social justice. We see the Aquarian ideals of freedom, democracy, and we see an uprising against oppression and the fight for human rights and individual liberties and empowerment. So here are some examples of a couple of things that happened last time Pluto was in Aquarius. The French Revolution, an uprising against the monarchy and aristocratic rule. We also had the American Revolution, which was about being liberated from the tyrannical power of the British monarchy. Both of these movements were an uprising against forces that were viewed as oppressive, and we would say would be more Pluto and Capricorn-like. We also had the Haitian Revolution, done by self-liberated slaves against French colonial rule. We had the Irish Rebellion, which was another full-fledged kind of revolt against British rule. We had also abolitionist movements. The abolition of slavery began gaining traction. We also had the Industrial Revolution, which was obviously about the birth of the modern age, groundbreaking advancements in technology and science, in various other fields. These are the industries that just radically transformed our daily life, our economy. There were historically, every time Pluto's been in Aquarius, major cultural and ideological shifts, major intellectual and cultural awakenings in literature and art and philosophy. So with Pluto in Aquarius, the atmosphere is loaded with these themes of revolution, of rising up against what is oppressive, and the theme of freedom. Now with Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius is a sign that's very future-oriented. It's also an air sign. Things get lighter, quicker, more dynamic. We are going to be much more focused on our future and where we're going. And we will be going through a sort of collective reorganization through events, through circumstances, through situations that arise, but there is a social transformation taking place whenever Pluto is in Aquarius. There is a collective kind of awakening occurring, an awakening that will push us to shed, restructure, and revolutionize our world and society. There will be great disruption through this period, especially for the first couple of years of Pluto in Aquarius, as we're trying to birth the new age. This will also be an era of scientific, social, political revolution, as it has been in the past when Pluto was in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about building a new age, a new world, and it's very concerned with restructuring and rebuilding society, which means we will be going through a kind of paradigm shift in these next few years. And this will be due to revelations, new information coming out, disclosure. This will have to do with really powerful movements taking place socially, politically. Capricorn emphasized traditional capitalistic systems, patriarchal power structures, colonial, hierarchy. Aquarius is encouraging us to think outside the box, to challenge the status quo. It's about disrupting the old rules, the old structures, the old paradigms, and coming up with new ones. And it's not necessarily an easy path. It's going to require us to do collective shadow work, which is what we're doing, which is what just happened with the election. We are dealing with the collective shadow of Capricorn, and we have to face it. And with Pluto being Aquarius, it's about challenging these oppressive systems. It's about advocating for radical change. It's about utilizing our creativity, our technology to solve problems and deal with these oppressive powers. And also, one of the big themes in Aquarius is community, is remembering and recognizing our interconnectedness. Now, right now, we're dealing with a lot of divisiveness. We're dealing with a lot of polarization. We're dealing with a lot of fragmentation in the collective. But Pluto in Aquarius is about us coming together as a collective, as a community, to promote justice, to promote the welfare of all, to uplift marginalized voices, to fight for minority groups. Pluto in Aquarius is connected to these revolutions, these rebellions, these powerful social, political movements and developments that are about reforming society, restructuring society. This is a time where we will be faced with understanding how connected we are with the earth, with the global community, with each other. We will also be more aware of these networks of life and how important it is that we protect them and that we strengthen them and that we build them. Freedom is the primary motivation through this period. We're moving away from these old systems and structures, and we are working together for the betterment of all. Now, is this right out the gate? Is this November 20th? No. It's going to be the next few years as things occur, and there's this big kind of collective awakening happening due to this highly charged new energy coming in to the collective unconscious when Pluto goes into Aquarius. This will be a time where we will get the call. We will all get the urge to liberate, to get free, especially from the oppressive, repressive influences in society, in our lives. And we will continue, especially through the first part of Pluto in Aquarius, we will continue to purge what's toxic and not serving where we're going. Because remember, Aquarius is all about the future. It's about carving out a better path to the future. And part of that's going to be about realizing it's got to happen through groups, through networks, through communities, through really taking advantage of our interconnectedness. It means every person is going to need to step into their gifts, into their skills that they can bring to the table to support this fight for the greater good. Everyone's going to be contributing in their own unique way. And so a lot of people are going to officially start to step into their larger callings through this period. We will be dealing with this desire to disrupt the old and find new ways of doing things. Aquarius is divergent in nature, breaking with convention, inventing a new future. That's what it's about. And we will all be thirsting for change. Look at historically, the French Revolution, the American Revolution. Those movements were spurred on by a desire, a thirst for change and for freedom and for a better future. We're going to be going through the same thing. And that polarization sometimes awakens people. And remember, Pluto's about our collective evolution, our collective awakening. So this is going to be a time where we're going to really be learning about how we can come together, how we can work together to create change. Aquarius is about humankind. It is about gathering together with like-minded people and fighting for and working for a higher cause and improving life on Earth, improving planet Earth. So this is about the good of the collective. This is about movements happening that advocate for freedom, for equality, for our collective good. Remember, the glyph in Aquarius is the water bearer, showing somebody pouring water out of a jug. It's not actually water, it's consciousness that's coming out of that jug. It's a new consciousness, it's a higher consciousness, it's new visions, new knowledge, new possibilities, new hope for a better future, new ideals that we should be working toward and striving for. So this is a period of major reformation. We are reforming, restructuring, and reorganizing ourselves, our lives, society. And this is happening across the globe. Now, wherever Pluto's moving in our birth charts, this is going to be an area where these energies are reaching us personally. This is an area that is going to be slated for progress for each of us. This is going to be an area where we're going to experience this new consciousness. This is an area where things are going to be revolutionized in our life. We are going through some kind of crucial awakening. We're going through transformative growth. Aquarius is about individuation. So we're taking those next steps in our individuation in this area. We are going through some form of liberation. We are reinventing this department of life. And we're going through some kind of crucial self-actualization. So Pluto and Aquarius aspecting our certain planets in our birth chart, moving through a specific house in our birth chart. This is where we're undergoing this crucial transition from the old order to the new. This is a profound time frame. And the first couple years are not going to be smooth, but it is about the birth of this new age, and with it, new ideals, new forms of society, new worldviews, and a new consciousness, a new awareness of how we need to live and live together and live in connection to the earth. And I think we can all sense, based on recent events, there is a sort of birth canal we're moving through over the next 3 years. The astrology certainly tells us that. And where we're going can be a vast improvement compared to where we are now. Right now, we're dealing with the height, the peak, the exorcism of a lot of old energies. Energies that belong to the collective, to society. A lot of it's mirrored in our relationship to these systems and structures in society and these major events happening on the world stage. It's showing us something. It's showing us that there's a need for change. And that we can't wait for these systems, these structures, these powers that be to change, that we are the change, that we have to change, and that we have to work together. And this is happening across the globe. It's not just happening in the United States. It's going to be happening all over the planet while Pluto's in Aquarius. Even though right now we have this large shadow rising up that has everything to do with the past. It's an old oppressive shadow. So look at where Pluto is in your chart. Look at the house it's sitting in. This is where you are individually going through this kind of movement, and this new energy is coming in. Next few months, a lot is going to be happening. Kind of interesting, on Inauguration Day in the United States in January, the sun, for the first time in 248 years, is going to be conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. The picture we're looking at is about to change again. The goal is, though, we remember where our power really lies and where it really is, and we stay in touch with that. There are things happening through this time frame that are not within our control, and there are things happening where we will have choices, we will have decisions in terms of how we want to use our energy. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the comments and all my subscribers. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.